Hi, I'm Bryan Uhler with Pioneer Builders. We just finished this house at 130 East Olympic Court in Allyn, Washington. It is now for sale. It has a ton of features and details. Come on in and I'll give you the tour. Well, come on in, but actually before we come in, let me show you something in here. You'll notice there's no step coming from the outside in here. It's the same thing over at the garage. What we've tried to do is make the house a little bit more accessible, and I'll show you some of the features for that. But as we come in, you can see we have a nice circulation path coming off the front. We have a stairwell that goes downstairs, nice dormer with some good volume and a light fixture up here. But if we come around here to the kitchen, you can see what we did as far as design. We've made light colored perimeter cabinetry. We have a darker wood stained cabinetry for the island. We have a granite countertop, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Then at the countertop is where we've located the sink, but on either side you still have plenty of countertop. We've got a food disposal. Throughout the whole house, you'll notice that we have the Gerber-Kinsey collection. I absolutely love the aesthetic of it. As you come around, just take a look here. We've got our pantry. We've, again, tried to make things a little nice for people who live here. Soft close hardware, refrigerator, under counter lighting. And then over here what we've done is we have a dual fuel range. So we have propane to the house, we have electrical, and we wired the actual house itself so that you could have a dual fuel range. This is all propane right now, but you could do dual fuel and it's all wired and pre-plumbed for that. Something else you'll notice throughout the house is we have a lot of USB-C charging stations. They're basically integrated within the electrical receptacle itself, and they're very smart. This is from Legrand, L-E-G-R-A-N-D, and it actually will detect how much voltage your device needs to be able to charge properly. Also, these are snapless covers, which is just a nice, clean look to it. We've upgraded the appliances, so this is Gen Air, and you can see that this, I think burling might be the word. Anyway, you can double check me on that. The whole suite actually plays together, and over here it actually has the same kind of a design over on this Gerber-Kinsey faucet. We've got vaulted ceilings throughout, a lot of different ways that this can be controlled as far as the lighting is concerned. Over onto the deck, we'll go ahead and take a quick stop out here. These are triple pane windows and doors from Innotek. So they are extremely high performance, not only to limit how much heat comes in the summer, how much heat leaves the house in the winter, but also from an air tightness perspective. So you'll have more privacy because you're not going to be getting the sound coming from the outside to the inside. Here we have a view rail system. The aesthetic for a lot of this house is a black and white. So we have the view rail that's black, and on the outside, the Innotek are also black. On the inside, the Innotek is white. Let's see, what else? Let me flip a switch and show you something else. Well, unfortunately, it's not nighttime, but if you come under here and look with me, you'll see what looks like a lightsaber. It is not a lightsaber, I promise. But basically what we have is a lighted deck railing system, which is just absolutely amazing. Then if you take a look out here, you can see, I don't know which part of the fairway we're on, but we're here in the Lakeland Village Golf Course community. And I have to tell you, in the summertime, it is absolutely beautiful. But even at this time of year, I was raised here in the Pacific Northwest, I still like this look. We've fully landscaped the yard, and it is also irrigated. So you might think, why in the world would you have to do irrigation in the Pacific Northwest? In the summertime, if you want to have your plants stay alive and you want to have green grass, you have to have irrigation. Let's go back inside. As you come inside, again, we're picking up where we left off. We have a great room in here. Fireplace, propane fired. It's not required as far as the heating system is concerned, but it's nice. It gives you that nice ambiance. As far as the heating and cooling in the house, we basically have different zones. The whole upper level is off of one highly efficient Mitsubishi heat pump unit. It uses variable refrigerant flow. Again, super energy efficient. Something I'll show you over here. What we did on quite a few of the windows, especially on the main level, is we used these blinds from MHZ North America so that, let's see, nope. And I think they look really nice, and I'll tell you who else likes them, my wife. And if my wife likes them, you know it's a win. Something that's kind of concealed behind here, we also have some low voltage pre-planning concerned. So right now we just have this picture up here, but if somebody ever put television, something like that, they'd be able to run their cabling through conduit and connect in. We'll keep following the circulation path here. So coming around, this is where we have our utility room. In the utility room, we've pre-plumbed in order to put a sink in here. You could put cabinetry, uppers, and then here's where your washer and dryer hookups are. Couple of lights, exhaust fan, and tile flooring. In general, we try to select the flooring if it's going to be a wet room, especially a bathing room or something like this that has water, just to be a little bit safer. The rest of the house, though, I'll show you, has solid hardwood flooring. And in this case, it would probably get one more light sanding, another seal coat, and then that way it looks as good as possible for you when you buy this house. Coming around here, this is where the garage is. And I'll go ahead and run you through here real quick. So it has wider than normal wing walls, so it is a 2-bay garage. We've got our main panel in here. I won't walk you through all of the electrical, but it does have a whole home surge protector. Also on the 2 heat pumps, we also have surge protective devices. If you're a mechanical engineer or electrical, drop a comment below and we can talk further about that. But most of the people watching this probably aren't mechanical engineers. We have a receptacle, so we're pre-wired as far as being able to do car charging. We also have a receptacle outlet or inlet from the outside in case you have a generator that you can energize the whole house if you lose power. One nice thing about this house is because it uses heat pump technology almost exclusively for heating and cooling, it doesn't take as much to be able to power the house in case you lose power. Over here we have a heat pump water heater. So again, we're utilizing that heat pump technology. And we also have the Taco 006E3 smart plug and recirculation pump because some of the fixtures are further away from the hot water tank. So I did another video on that in the past as far as this particular unit, but it's a smart unit, ECM, electrically commutated motor. It's hyper efficient, bottom line. So you'll notice, like we talked about before, 0 threshold coming into the house. We have a little drop-off station, nice amount of square footage. We've got a coat closet here, and as we come around, I'll show you a couple of features in the powder room. Powder rooms are kind of nice because you can have fun with things. So we've got a nice blue, you'll notice hardware throughout the whole house with the cabinetry. Again, we have the same idea of the nice soft close, granite, Gerber Kinsey. In general, we have these freestanding mirrors. 3-lamp light fixture. Our exhaust fans are Panasonic and they're also highly energy efficient. If there's a bathing room, I have integrated in there a humidity sensor. So we make sure to evacuate that water, that steam, because we definitely don't want water problems. Then also from Gerber, I know this might seem a little bit weird, but if you come in here, this is the Avalanche from Gerber. And go ahead at your house, take a look at where the water comes from, but watch this. So Amazing toilet. This is the ergo height. I think the shaping of it is nice. And then of course you can see we've got the soft close there. Coming around to the bathroom, in this case we've got a tub shower combo from Max. Gerber Kinsey throughout, fiberglass unit, and I think it's just a nice aesthetic. So as we come out of the bathroom and we come full circle, you can see this is where we started. So we have the entrance off to my right, and as we come around, we have what could either be a bedroom, or the way we've got it designed right now is it could just be an office for somebody. So we've got the closet in here, nice big windows, which you'll notice throughout the house, taller ceilings. So this is one bedroom on the main level, and we designed this whole house to be able to be utilized just with one level. Eventually we'll go down in the basement, but right now, let's go ahead and hop over to the primary suite, and I'll show you the features over there. So here we are, utility room. We were already in this part of the house, but if we come into the primary suite, oh, there is one thing I want to show you. If you take a look, pretty much all of our bedrooms and other rooms have these nice dimmers from Legrand. Take a look over here. I think that's pretty sweet. Again, vaulted ceiling, and this has a lot of square footage that you can utilize to have a sitting room. We pre-wired to have a television over here. Yeah, just very comfortable. I think it's nice to have a primary bedroom that's not overwhelming, but is also very comfortable. Then as we come in here, what we have is we've got some upper cabinetry that's on the countertop. Nice solid surface, undermount sinks, Gerber Kinsey. These are kind of fun. So this has a defogger. You can also turn the light off and on. I won't show you all of the features, but you can change the color temperature. You can change how much it dims. The vanity lights are on their own switch. Double duplex receptacle with charging right between a his and hers sink. And then over here, let me show you this. Just to show you they've got a nightlight feature or an all-on feature. Exhaust fan right outside of the shower. Come on in and I'll show you this. Very expansive, and what we've done with the design is had the controls on this side. We have a nice Schluter perforated shelf for your shampoo, your soap, shower head, and then an operable tilt-turn window. Let me show you this so you can see how the windows operate. So that is the tilt, or I'm sorry, the turn, and that is the tilt. So if you were in here, more than likely, if you wanted to, you could just tilt that window and get nice fresh air in here and be able to evacuate that moisture. And then of course we have this as kind of a frosted glass for privacy. Kind of sticky shoes, and I don't know why. Okay, then back here we have a water closet for privacy, obviously, but a nice big operable window. Go ahead and take a peek in there. And you're able to see the same design as far as the water closet specification. Then in here we have two lights. We've gone with a lot of flush fixtures, which is kind of nice from a clean sight line. You'll see that down in the basement. And quite a bit of space in here. And again, in here, in fact, I'll take this as the opportunity. So here's the hardwood floor that we have. So we put this in here, which is such a nicer look than what we typically do by putting carpet in here. And if you wanted, you could put some more furniture in here. Yeah, pretty nice room. So those are a lot of the features here on the main level. Let's hop downstairs and I'll give you a walk through the basement. So coming downstairs, I showed you earlier in the video where that came in. But check this out. So again, from Legrand, you have a light with 4 different illumination settings. We always specify at a dogleg set of stairs like this to have a receptacle for vacuuming. So as we come downstairs and we come into the main room, what we have is this door to give you a little bit of privacy. The type of family who might end up purchasing this might have maybe an older couple who lives on the main level and then even a family, a college student. There's quite a bit that could be done here on the lower level, and that gives a little bit of privacy. So you'll notice just a couple of things right off the bat. We have high ceilings. I won't get into all of the building science, but some of these are very thick walls because this is the way the grades worked out. We have insulation underneath this slab, which is not a code requirement. We've gone way above code. In fact, one other thing I'll mention is we have exterior insulation, which is unique when it comes to North American construction. That's something that you might see more in Europe. It's a nice way to make sure that our houses stay comfortable and keep our electricity bills lower. I got my electricity bill the other day and I was absolutely floored by how expensive it was. So we were up above on the deck over there. You might be able to tell these are very tall doors. And then we have this window over here. What we've tried to do is keep this from feeling like a basement. And honestly, if you live down here, you would not think of this as your conventional basement. It feels very much like a typical main level living even here. And again, no step, no threshold to get from the basement to the outside, which is super nice. Now down here, we do have little heating units in the different rooms. I did that just to make sure people were comfortable, but we've been in the 30s pretty much for the last, I don't know, 4 days or so. This small mini split has been keeping this entire basement warm, and none of those other units are turning on. So it gives you an idea of the efficiencies in this house. Then we have some receptacles that are a little higher up, and you'll see that we pre-plumbed here. So if somebody wanted to, they could also add a kitchenette. So again, it gives you that multi-family living that we're kind of going for. We utilize our space, so we've got good storage that goes underneath the stairway. And then our first bedroom on this level, if you want to come in, a lot of room. We've got a big window, and again, we do have one heating unit in here, just in case somebody ever needed it. I just very much design and build my houses for comfort. We obviously want to have inexpensive homes as far as utilities is concerned, but I just have kind of a philosophy that we want our houses to be comfortable so that when we come home, we like the place that we're living. Okay, so we were already over here. And as we come around, we've got this little niche with a receptacle that we could use if we wanted a little pocket office in this area. And now the storage begins. So we've got a receptacle again. You could make this a little storage area. We've got a section down here if you want to just shoot the camera down that way. And then coming over here, because of the way this whole thing stacked, we ended up with this extra room. On the original plan, this was more of a mechanical room, but the way I built the house, we don't have to use it. So now you just have a ton of space. But it's not just a conventional storage space. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 receptacles just in this area here. So this would probably make a really good crafting room if you do things like Pinterest or things like that. Now as we come on down and we shoot down the hallway, we've got another bathroom, and it is similar to the one upstairs. We've got our fiberglass tub shower. We've got the avalanche unit from Gerber. We've got banks of drawers on each side, and really a bright room. I didn't mention it when we were upstairs, but similar as far as there's actually linens behind each one of these doors for closets and storage. Coming down here, this can be whatever you want it to be, but I always think of it as kind of an Xbox room. A lot of square footage, perfect place for kids to be able to play. And I will show you this over here, which is a little unusual. This is where the water main comes in, but what we've done is installed a flow by Moen whole house smart leak detector. Basically, what it can do is help protect your house in case you ever have a plumbing leak. It can act kind of like a circuit breaker for water that will kill the water to the house so that you don't have a catastrophic failure. And depending on how you get it set up, and depending on your homeowner's insurance, you might actually be able to get a break on your homeowner's insurance. So that is definitely something worth looking into. We built a house one time and sadly had a catastrophic failure, and it was very expensive and a large consumption of time. So having those smart things can really save you a lot of time in the long run. As we come back into the hallway, I know probably most builders don't talk about their hallways, but I'm going to. So what we have is a fan in the wall here that can take the air from the hallway and put it into that room. The reason for that is to try to get fresh air in there. We have this ERV, which is how we designate our fresh air intake. It is an energy efficient way to be able to get outside air into the house. Because we have such a tight building envelope, now we're really able to control the air that comes in, and we're also able to filter that air. So instead of just opening a window, and that's the way we get fresh air, we can actually filter that air before it comes in, which is really cool. 2 more rooms to go through. This was my guess. Somebody would probably put their bed here, nightstands on either side. And now we get the nice view of the outside. And again, you can see fully landscaped yard, bypass set of closet doors, and then a similar room on this side. And I'll just show you one more time these tilt-turn windows. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but I sure can. But the way these are primarily designed is when they're opened up is how you get your fresh air. And I can feel it coming in right now. But if you're going to be washing your windows, just think about that. You can wash these from the inside, which is a really cool feature. And honestly, those are just some of the features. We've been building houses since 1978, and every house that we build, we try to do a little bit better. This is the pinnacle of what we've constructed so far. So again, it's for sale currently. Below is the link to what the current sales price is. Kim Wilson is our real estate broker. We've been using her for years. She is top notch. But if you're interested in this house, I would love to tour it with you in person. But hopefully by just watching this video, it gives you a good sense of what this type of house is like. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you like this. Give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, leave them below. We'll see you next time.